Thank you for joining us for this webinar today. Uh, as you can see, the today's agenda here. So basically, we have joined here for Global Network Project of University of Tokyo, India office, attracting students basically of Southwest Asia. So panelists, we have basically students from India, Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh, Bhutan, and Sri Lanka. My name is Dheeraj Joshi. I am from the Department of Civil Engineering of the University of Tokyo. So today we are presenting basically a talk by University of Tokyo Director Mr. Miyoshi Sensei, followed by presentation by Ms. Megumi Paul for the overview of study and work in Japan, presentation by Risumaiken Asia Pacific University, which includes the speaker Ms. Aisan, Ms. Deepti, Ms. Ishana, and followed by presentation by Kanazawa University, Professor Matsushima, presentation by Risumaiken University. Speakers will be Ms. Priyanka, Ms. Hiroko, followed by a short presentation by Ms. Megumi Paul, and then we will conclude the session. I will remind that there will be a Q&A session of around 10 minutes after each presentation of the university, and the total presentation time of each university is around 20 minutes. And after that, we will be having 10 minutes of Q&A session. So basically, just a minute. And I will be joined in this webinar along with one of the facilitator, Mr. Swapnil San, who is also a University of Tokyo master student. And our webinar is scheduled for 2 hours, basically. And before we start the webinar, just a little housekeeping. Basically, if you have any question, then you can put them in the Q&A box, not in the chat box, please. So I will just start the little brief about the Risumaiken Asia Pacific University, which is focusing on international management programs, especially focusing on Asia Pacific regions, and which have some very exciting courses like accelerated graduation program, so as to allow bright students to finish their program earlier than usual. And Kanazawa University has excellent international linkages, especially in Southeast Asia and Middle East, for international exchange support to students, and so that they may pursue their international researches in their home country also for a brief period. And as we know that everyone knows about Ritsumaikan University, which is one of the top global university and which has some excellent international alumni presence and international outreach. Kanazawa University, Ritsumaikan University, and Ritsumaikan APU University, they all offer undergraduate and graduate programs for students. And I must tell you that study environment in Japan, particularly all the universities here, they have uniform education standards to provide quality education to students through opportunities for research publications. And they are basically buzzing with enormous energy. They are having so many club activities like skiing, manga club, karate club, so as to bring out the best in the personality of an individual. I again request that during the presentation, if anyone has any query, then please put them in the Q&A box, not in the chat box, for efficient reply by the panelists. Now, without further delay, I will turn over to Professor Miyochi-san, Director of U Tokyo India office, for motivating and guiding students for study and work in Japan. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Miyauchi, the director of the University of Tokyo India office. Today's program, the study and work in Japan, is sponsored by MEXT, Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports Science, and Technology in Japan. So this mission is to introduce Japanese university to you and assist you to study in Japan. This project consists of 12 sessions. Today is the first day, and it will continue by middle of the February next year. We plan to introduce nearly 30 major universities in Japan, national universities, public and private universities, both graduate and undergraduate schools. Therefore, if you participate all sessions, you'll be familiar with Japanese universities today. I hope it will help you. And then it is my great pleasure if you consider Japanese university as one of your options in the future. Anyhow, please enjoy today's sessions. Thank you.
Thank you, Miyochi Sensei. Thank you for the nice words and breaking the ice for today's webinar. Now I will just share where are we right now. So basically we have finished this first part of talk by Miyochi Sensei. Now I will invite for a very special and informative talk by Miss Megumi Paul, Managing Director of Focal Ed, who is herself a gold medalist from MGR Medical University, and she is based in Tokyo. And I assure her talks will be very fruitful for students for to make a wise decision, and which is a very crucial point, I think, in their academic life. Ms. Megumi Paul, please.
Thank you, Mr. Dheeraj. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining the webinar. I was born in India, moved to Japan in 1997, and became a Japanese citizen. It gives me great pleasure to present to you all today. I will share my PowerPoint slides now.
Yeah, Megumi-san, it's visible.
I'll
Can
go
you make it full screen, please?
Yes, I'm doing that.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. I will briefly explain why Japan is the rising magnet for foreign talent for higher education and work. The national flag of Japan is officially named as Nishoki, meaning sunmark flag. Main religions are Shintoism, Buddhism, and Christianity. Japan has 47 prefectures, equivalent to states in India. Japan has the second largest population of 125 million among G7 industrialized nations next to US. As you know, G7 countries are Japan, US, Germany, UK, France, Italy, and Canada. Japan's economy is the third largest in the world and is on the move again, brimming with opportunities for foreign professionals to work hand in hand with top Japanese talent. Japan's economy is mainly driven by automotive and consumer electronic industries. Firstly, Japan is a safe place to live with low crime rate. It has an excellent public transportation system with subways and bullet trains. Japan provides a comfortable living environment for students. I have to mention about the well-established national health insurance system. 70% of the medical bill is paid by the government, and only 30% of the medical expenses is paid by the student. After the student joins the college, the student will be given the national health insurance card. The student has to pay an annual premium of rupees 12,000 only, which is reasonable. To your right, you see Tokyo ranked first in world's safest cities ranking in 2019 by Economist Intelligence Unit. There are 90 undergraduate English courses offered by 40 Japanese universities. There are 160 postgraduate English courses offered by 51 Japanese universities. All undergraduate degree programs are for 4 years, and graduate degree programs are for 2 years. There are 3 different categories of universities in Japan: national, public, and private. National Universities was founded by Japanese government and contributes to the development of higher education and research. Public universities are established by prefectures and play an important role in providing higher education. 80% of the universities are private, and provides unique education and research based on the spiritual legacy of the founders. I will share the differences between Japanese and Indian higher education. The Indian education is focused on theoretical studies, whereas Japanese education focus on the basic knowledge of a specific field of major. Japanese education provides an opportunity to understand various diverse foreign cultures, society, and nature, whereas Indian education focuses on growing global trends. Also, Japanese education gives importance to develop communication skills, logical thinking, problem solving, and apply these skills to solve new issues. Japanese universities offer world class facilities with cutting edge technology, ideal for educational research and international activities. They provide sophisticated libraries with excellent workspace for self study, group discussions, co curricular activities for teamwork. Dormitories provide students a peaceful atmosphere for a well balanced academic and personal lifestyle. Here we will compare the tuition fees and living expenses of US and Japan and about scholarships. Tuition fees in Japanese public universities is rupees 4 lakhs per year versus rupees 22 lakhs in US public universities. Tuition fees in Japanese private universities is rupees 12 lakhs per year versus rupees 37 lakhs per year in US private universities. Japanese college tuition fees is one third of US college tuition fees. Living expenses in Japan and US is almost the same. Japanese universities offer merit based and need based scholarships. Unlike USA, no visa issues in Japan for both student visa and for employment visa after graduation in Japan. Average salary for undergraduate students after graduation is around rupees 28 lakhs per year. Japan has the lowest unemployment rate of 2.34% based on 2020 statistics and likely to continue due to graying population, which provides a great opportunity for international students like you to study, work, and settle in Japan. Why we have so many job opportunities in Japan? Japan is the third largest economy in the world and the only developed nation in Asia with highest per capita income. It has the lowest unemployment rate of 2.5% in the developed G7 countries. There are a number of global Japanese companies like Toyota, Panasonic, Mitsubishi that are leading the change. Uniqlo has opened its outlet in India, showing that Japan is moving to retailing industry also. All global companies like Google, Microsoft, Amazon have big operations in Japan due to Japan market size. After graduation, you will get a placement in Japan in Japanese companies as well as multinational companies like Apple, Accenture, Deloitte, Google. Also, you can work in India or any part of the world in Japanese companies as they welcome students who have graduated from Japanese universities. Japan's culture is incredibly rich. The food is insanely delicious with various international cuisine options like Indian, Mexican, Italian, French. Everyone is so polite. Transportation is always on time. Japan is a place where ancient temples and World Heritage sites coexist with modern cityscapes and state of the art technology. There are four seasons to experience and enjoy in Japan. The average temperature in Tokyo during winter is 10 degrees Celsius, spring 23 degrees Celsius, summer 30 degrees Celsius, autumn 22 degrees Celsius. Thank you. So with that, I will pass on to Mr. Dheeraj to start introducing the distinguished speakers from the prestigious Japanese universities to proceed with their presentations.
Okay, thank you, Megumi-san, for sharing such a crucial piece of information with the students here for making an informed decision in their career choices, and even I think it will be helpful for their parents also. So moving forward, I will now turn over to Ms. Ai Yamamoto, who is Senior Admission Counselor with Risumaikan Asia Pacific University. And she has been guiding students and parents, and she has over 11 years experience in the education field. And she enjoys working in the multicultural environment. And I must say that she has been associated with an NGO under the aegis of United Nations and working for community service and leadership training programs. She herself is a graduate from the Risumaikan University. The presentation will be joined by Ms. Deepti Singh, India representative of Risumaikan APU in Delhi. And Ms. Deepti is a graduate from JNU, and she is actively associated with cultural promotion activities, especially Japanese language. And the presentation will also be joined by Ms. Ishiana Malkani, India representative of APU in Mumbai office. Ms. Ishiana is a graduate of University of Mumbai, and her interests are quite diverse, ranging from diving, diamonds, and of course education field. Nonetheless, she has also philanthropist focus on animal welfare too. So I will request Risumaikan APU speakers to kindly proceed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joshi-san, to introducing us.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I am Mera namu Ai hai. I stayed in India for half a year, but the only Hindi I took is that. And then rest of that I will speak English. So before coming to our presentation, let me talk about Ritsumeikan APU and Ritsumeikan University, the difference. So we are two different universities, Ritsumeikan Asia Pacific University and Ritsumeikan University, but in the same trust called Ritsumeikan. So Ritsumeikan University is older, which is very traditional university. It's around 130 years since it started. And then only 20 years ago, Ritsumeikan University created a very new university with a very new concept, which is Ritsumeikan APU, us. So we will be presenting about Ritsumeikan Asia Pacific University now. Okay, so I will share the screen. All right.
Great. Thank you, Aisan. Hi, everyone. So I'm Ishana. I'm the APU India representative based in Mumbai, and my colleagues and I will talk to you about our university. You can let us know if you... Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, it got disconnected a bit. Now it is okay.
Sorry, I think I was on mute. So hi, everyone. I'm Ishana from Mumbai. I'm the APU India representative based here in Mumbai, and my colleagues and I will deliver a short presentation. If we have some time, we'll even show you a video, and after that, you can ask us any questions that come to mind. So as Aisan mentioned, we are Ritsumeikan Asia Pacific University, and we're founded in the year 2000, which means we're a very young university. We were founded with the concept of bringing more international students to Japanese shores. So we're a very diverse and inclusive environment. We are located on a mountaintop, as you can see in the previous slide, where we have a very nice view of the Pacific Ocean. I'll talk to you a little bit more about our location in the next slides. Yeah, you can go to the next one. Thank you. So we were founded with the concept of 350s. So we have 50% international students, 50% international faculty, and we have representation from over 50 countries globally. We also have a very strong alumni connection in 152 countries, and we're pretty small. We have about 5,600 students, mostly focused on undergraduate courses, but we also have master's and PhD programs. Yeah, next slide. Okay, so this is the Times Higher Education World University Rankings. We come 27th in Japan out of 800 universities and 5th out of 640 private universities. So this is a pretty big deal for our university, considering we're very young. It is difficult for young universities to move up the rankings fast. So it's something that we find to be a big achievement. All right, you can go to the next slide. Great. So this is where we're located. So we are located in the southernmost island of Japan called Kyushu, and we are a 1.5 hour flight from Tokyo. We are located in a small town called Beppu, which is known in Japan, especially for its hot springs. So we have a lot of tourists coming in, especially in the colder months, because they want to take a dip and escape the cold. And we're a very small city with just 120,000 people. So it's a very small, friendly, safe environment. So at APU, we have two main colleges. One is the College of International Management, and the other is the College of Asia Pacific Studies. So we're not a large multidisciplinary university, but we're very niche and very focused, and these are our strengths. So coming back to the College of International Management, so with both colleges, you have 4 specializations to choose from. And we're pretty flexible where, let's say, if you chose accounting and finance in the beginning, and if you wanted to change to, let's say, management or marketing later on, you can even change your specialization in your 3rd year. So there we allow a lot of flexibility. As for our College of International Management, we have been accredited by AACSB as well as AMBA. So this puts us up with the top 5% and top 2% of business schools globally. So we're very well recognized for our courses here. So if you're doing APM at the International College of Management, then you'd be getting a BBA degree. And if you study at the Asia Pacific Studies College, then you'd be getting a Bachelor of Social Sciences. So here as well with the Asia Pacific Studies, you get to choose your specialization, and we allow you to change your specialization even later on. We're accredited by the UN's World Tourism Organization for our hospitality and tourism course. And let's say students who usually study at this college, at the Asia Pacific Studies, they normally go on to work for the UN, become diplomats, and work in foreign offices, etc. And also many of them work with companies such as Dentsu. If you're in hospitality, you may get hired by Hilton or another such large company. And going back to the International Management College, we do have very frequent interactions with industry. So we have a global business case competition that we host and we also take part in, and it's international. So they're basically companies that come over to our university and they throw a challenge at students, and students have to present a solution to those challenges. So that's another way of hands-on engagement with industry. So our learning is pretty holistic, where you are not just studying from textbooks, but you're also interacting with industry and with students globally. Okay, next slide. All right. So as the colleagues mentioned earlier, Japan is known for affordable tuition fees. And many Japanese universities have very attractive scholarships. So at APU, we have a tuition reduction scholarship that ranges between 30 and 100%. And on average, we've noticed Indian students at our university get about 65% tuition reduction scholarship. So that means that where if you got 0% scholarship, you'd be paying a maximum of 9 lakh rupees a year. But then if you get, let's say, a 65% scholarship, your fees goes down to 3 lakhs per year. And then you can add all these other expenses. We've given an approximate for your living costs. And then per year, if you had that scholarship, you'd be paying about 13 lakhs, all inclusive. There are a lot of scholarships that we provide even once you come onto APU's campus. So this APU tuition reduction scholarship is part of your application. You don't have to fill out a separate form, but when you're applying to APU itself, you can apply for the scholarship and get it. And then once you enroll at APU and you actually, begin your course, there are many other scholarships that can even cover your cost of living. So another thing that we're known for is our exchange program. So we have partners in 42 different countries. We have 142 exchange programs. So if you want to study at SMU in Singapore, or if you want to study in the US, we'll have a partner in those places. And the best part is that you won't have to pay the fees to that partner, but rather pay the same tuition fee that you're used to paying at APU with your scholarship included. Yeah, next slide. Yeah, so we have a pretty high placement rate of 96%. We have 250 plus companies that come onto our campus to recruit students every year. So though we're located in a small town like Beppu, and it's not exactly Tokyo and Osaka where you have large company offices there, but the good part is that the companies actually come onto our campus. So you don't have to make separate trips to go job hunting. And our career office puts together the interviews for our students. And the reason why it's 96%, it isn't because 4% haven't gotten jobs. It's because maybe they went back and joined their family business, or they've not kept us updated on what they're doing currently. So it's very possible that it's 100% job placement rate as well. Yeah. So one thing that I forgot to mention is at APU, we do not expect students to know Japanese in advance. All our courses are in English. And so that's why a lot of companies like hiring our students, because they speak English very well as Japanese. It's something that we teach our students in their first year of undergraduate. So here are some of the major employers. You have Apple, Google, Sony. These are all companies you would have heard of. And also we have a very good placement rate with graduate schools. So we have undergraduate students going on to study at Oxford, Harvard, and other leading universities globally. Next slide. Yeah, so I'll just hand over to my colleague, Deepti. Thank you.
Thank you, Shana-san. So I'll briefly introduce myself once again. I'm Deepti Singh. I am a representative of APU and I'm based out of Delhi. I'm also an alumni of APU and I graduated from APU in the year 2004. So I understand that we have a lot of high school students today with us. Their parents would also be here listening to me. So I thought I will briefly talk to you about my experience at APU and in Japan. So I come from a very middle class family in India, and I had not thought about studying abroad, honestly. But I came across this opportunity of going to Japan and studying in APU. And uh, just like you, I was very confused about the opportunity and I was evaluating which country to go to or which course to take up. And there were few things I was very concerned about. One was financing, of course, coming from a middle class family. I applied to APU without any expectations, and I was pleasantly surprised because I was awarded 100% tuition fee. And I found out later that Japan is actually a more affordable destination. Megumi-san, and you must have seen in the slides of Ishana-san also, our tuition fee in APU, it's very affordable. In fact, you can also compare it with some of the private institutes in India. There are other, financing options. For example, there are other private scholarships. There are part-time job opportunities. So you can, somehow reduce your financial burden after you are in Japan. Yeah, another thing that I was worried about before making my decision to go to Japan was having to learn another language. I had heard all the things about Japanese language, that it is a difficult language, and I was worried uh, because I had no exposure, honestly, and I had not seen kanjis or hiragana ever before going to Japan. But after going to Japan, after enrolling in APU, I saw that the class sizes were really small and our Japanese classes were really comprehensive. Our faculty was so focused on teaching every concept, and those class sizes, because they were small and it had so many international students, they are the ones who become the closest friends to you. And about Japanese, it increasingly becomes easier because you are in Japan, you are learning it in that country, and it becomes easier from there. So I just want to say it might seem like a very difficult decision for you right now, but Japan makes it easy. They are very kind to foreigners, and it is a safe country. It is an affordable destination, and APU, it is such a vibrant and international campus that it will definitely be easy for you there. That's all from me. And in case you're planning to apply to APU, please get in touch with me. These are some of my photographs. You can just take a look at these. So if in case you're planning to apply to APU, I would be very happy to assist you with your applications. I'm based in Delhi. So feel free to get in touch with me in case you want to know more about life in APU or courses, anything at all. Thank you.
All right. So now I will talk about application schedule and process briefly, but like Deepti-san and Ishana-san said, I will share their contacts later on, so you can always ask them later on. So we have two intakes. One is in April 2021. So if you want to apply for April 2021 enrollment, the last application is coming in December. But I believe most of you are enrolled September 2021. So the application schedule, we have two schedules for Indian students. The first one will be November, coming November, and the second one will be in March. But if you decide to apply to APU, I would recommend to apply the early schedule, so in November, because simply we have more budget to provide as a tuition reduction scholarship. All right. So the schedule is stage 1 and 2. Online application and online assessment. So in the first schedule, you will have to fill in the online application, which is your basic information, your education history and such. And online assessment is to measure your core ability and critical thinking. So you can take that test online as well. And after the stage 1 results, you will have the interview with APU professors and the APU staff like me. So this is where you can showcase your passion about coming to Japan, what you want to study at APU. So we take a look at your academic reports, but we think that SMART is not enough for you to be able to talk about yourself. And then we look at if you are independent enough to live in Japan on your own, and then you're ready for the learning in the multicultural environment. So interview results is very important, as well as academic report. And then when you get the final application, you will receive the result of tuition reduction scholarship, the percentage. So only after you know how much tuition reduction scholarship you receive, you can actually proceed the enrollment process. These are the documents required: application information, essays, transcripts, letter of recommendation, English test, application fee payment. The optional document is extracurricular activities report and standardized test results. I recommend if you have any extracurricular activities such as sports competition or volunteer experiences, do submit those reports. Again, we value those extracurricular activities for the screening itself and then tuition reduction scholarship. These are the minimum score of the English score. If that's TOEFL, 75. If it's IELTS, 6.0. And then also this year, we accept this TOEFL Special Home Edition IELTS indicator, which you can take at home. Also, we receive Duolingo English test score, which you can use this link, and you will receive the result in a couple of days. But again, for this process for the application, you can always contact with Miss Deepti and Miss Ishana. Please do take a memo. If you live in Delhi NCR, please contact Miss Deepti. And if you live anywhere outside of Delhi NCR, please make a memo of Miss Ishana. Yeah. And I believe this organizer can send you this PowerPoint later on. And today you can only listen from us, but we have the recorded webinar where our Indian current students talk and alumni talk. So I will try to put this link in the chat box later on. You can copy and paste and then go to the website later on. Briefly mentioning the COVID-19 situation here in Japan, we have around 97,000 total cases, but most of the cases are happening in Tokyo. And about Oita Prefecture, where APU is, there was 0 count since September 9th. I think there was only 1 case happened in October here. So compared to the big cities, this place is quite calm. So I think we have 3 minutes left to show that video now.
To learn something new, sometimes you must travel far to where the spark of new possibilities lies right before your eyes. There is a place you can see things you've never seen before, where the energy of those around you is inspiring and boundless. And so you join in, working harder, reaching higher, dreaming bigger than you ever thought you could. Because this is your time. This is your chance to seek out your own destiny.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Miss Deepti, Miss Ishiana, for the nice presentation. And I hope this will be very fruitful for the students for making a wise decision. And now I will start the Q&A session with Risumaikan APU University. And all the students can put their queries in the Q&A box. And I think we have got some questions in the Q&A box. I think panelists of Risumaikan APU can answer them. We have been trying to answer them, but if you want to wish to take some questions, you can please answer them. You can see the Q&A box, please.
Mhm. So,
Okay, thank you.
yeah, Akhtar said, can Indian students apply directly to APU University? Definitely. My colleague Deepti Singh and I are here to help. And we, just so you know, we have about 80 Indian students on campus, at least as of 2019. So that's sort of, the mix of students that we have. A lot of students from Indonesia, from Sri Lanka, from Bangladesh, Malaysia, Europe, the US, etc. But definitely lots of Indian students as well. Is Japanese language certificate mandatory? So no, we don't require that you know Japanese before coming to APU, but it's something that we teach you on campus once you enroll in our undergraduate course. If you do know Japanese, then we recommend that you mention that in your application. It might help with your scholarship. Okay, and what is the eligibility for scholarships at APU? So we basically, what we require is the scholarship application as well as the admission application is the same. You don't have a separate form for scholarship. It's all one form. And what we do is we conduct a 15-minute video interview to assess you for the scholarship. What we look at is your academic performance from the 10th to the 12th grade, where we expect a minimum of 60% usually, and we take an average. Then we also require English proficiency. So if you studied at an IB school or IGCSE, then it's all right if you submit an English evaluation form. But we do encourage students to also take IELTS, TOEFL, or Duolingo, and that way we can compare. It's a standardized test where we can compare Indian students with other applications from around the world. So it's something that we encourage, because if you get a good score there, you can get a higher scholarship. So that's English proficiency. Then we look at the strength of your application, where in your application there are 4 short essays that students have to write. So we assess that to understand the reason why you're applying to APU, and what your dreams are and passions are. Then we also look at your extracurriculars. So let's say if you've done some volunteering work, or if you've been head of student council or something like that, those kind of things can also count towards your scholarship. And lastly, as I mentioned, the 15-minute video interview would also count towards your scholarship. But it's a pretty holistic thing. So it's not one particular aspect that we look at, but all these various things for the scholarship. And just to add, for the scholarship, you get to know, let's say if we make you an offer and say that we'd like to, we're granting you admission to APU, at that time itself, we will be announcing that you've got admission to APU as well as you've got an 80% scholarship. So then your family and you can decide if, financially it makes sense for you, because a lot of students apply with a particular target of how much scholarship they want. So the good part is that you don't need to make any down payments to APU. We only have a very small application fee of 3,800 rupees, and that's the only upfront payment you make. By then you receive your scholarship results, and then you can decide to take things further with APU and make further payments. Okay, do Nepali students apply directly? Whom do we refer to? Aisan?
Yes, so we have the person in charge for Nepal, but I cannot write the email for the representative in the chat box. Yes.
There is a question from Mr. Sohail Sheikh that is there any cap on number of students that are picked overall from India?
Is there a cap? No.
Yeah, I like how many students from India will be selected?
No, so at the moment we don't have a cap. It's only when we have too many students applying. So at the moment we have many more students that come from, let's say, Indonesia and Korea. Whereas with India, compared to Korea and Indonesia, it's less. So we don't put a cap unless India becomes more than any other country. Then maybe at that point we'd be a bit stricter with it. But at this moment, no. Sorry, I don't know if I missed any questions. Should we apply for it in the...
Okay, there's a few on the Q&A box, and I have been responding to them by typing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
Actually, the open questions are not answered. The open questions can be taken on. Answered questions are already answered. So open question, you can check.
Okay.
There's a question like, is there a limit on how many students would get the scholarship?
So yeah, sorry, you want to take that?
No, please go ahead.
Yeah, so there's no at the moment we have a decent number of scholarships for the number of seats that we have. So again, there's no real limit, but of course it can get a bit competitive, although it's very common for international students to get the scholarship, because overall Japan is looking to bring in more international students because of its aging population, etc. And APU itself is also very focused on bringing international students in. So it is, although it's competitive, you may find that while it's competitive, you may get a smaller scholarship, but getting a scholarship in the first place is extremely common. Okay.
So there are many questions regarding the application procedure. I recommend that you get in touch with the representatives, Ishana-san or me directly, so that we can guide you in detail.
There is a question like, there is a maximum age criteria to get job post completion of post graduation program in Japan? I don't think so. There is any age criteria.
Well, there is no age criteria, but for the course, there is no age criteria. As far as the job is concerned, in Japan, it is usually preferred that, shinsotsugu, so they prefer fresh graduates to be hired. But again, there are, no, there are many exceptions to that.
Yeah, it
Now,
depends on the company also, their policies, individual company. Yeah.
absolutely.
What are the course of study for chemistry students for PhD level? Is there a question?
We don't have the chemistry,
Okay.
unfortunately.
There is a question like, it's ending of October from Diksha Mahadik. So application date is closed for Max scholarship. So is there any other scholarship for admission take in 2021?
Yes, so we do, if you're talking about undergraduate, we have our APU tuition reduction scholarship that we were talking about. So at the time of applying for your admission, this applies to both undergraduate as well as masters. We offer in-house scholarship. So that there's no date. We just have the regular admission application windows. So the scholarship one is the same. So as long as you apply in time during our application window, you will be eligible for the scholarship.
Okay, just one last quick question from the Shrikant Koltur. Can another stream bachelor student can apply for masters in management of business?
For MBA, if you have the 3 years experiences of full-time working, that's the minimum requirement, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have that requirement for our MBA program, which is the course that we have in management and business, where you have to have 3 years of work experience. That's a requirement because of the accreditations that we have. But for all our other master's programs, we don't require any work experience. And if you've studied something else at the undergraduate level and you want to study something completely different at APU, then we're very flexible with that.
Okay, thank you, panelists of Risumakan APU University. Thank you for guiding the students. And I have shared some admission link details and email details of Risumakan APU in the chat box. And also I have shared the University of Tokyo India office email and Ms. Megumi Paul email. If you have further queries, you can please write an email on that. So with that, I will just show where are we.
Thank you.
So we have finished the Risumakan APU University presentation. Now we are focusing on this presentation by Kanazawa University, Professor Matsushima. So I will now turn over to Professor Matsushima Daisuke, our professor is a doctoral in business administration who did his undergraduate from the University of Tokyo, and he further graduated from Harvard University. And he has hands-on experience in the field of he has served in Ministry of International Trade and Industry and dealing with economy, trade, and industry sectors for more than 17 years. And I would like to request him to share his vast global experience with students, as he has been serving in the academic field also by being associated with Nagasaki University. And now he is there in Kanazawa University. So we are grateful to hear his thoughts. And I would like to request him to share his journey experiences with students in Japan. Sorry. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, Professor Matsushima.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much for my introduction from the chairman. So first of all, this is Kanazawa. I'm from the Kanazawa University. But why Kanazawa? You know the Kanazawa. Everybody know the Tokyo and Osaka, but you don't know maybe Kanazawa or Kanazawa University. So today, I'd like to explain more detail of the Kanazawa and the Kanazawa University, first of all. From my side, the chair already mentioned that actually I'm a professor of the Kanazawa University, and my research scope is innovation or the study of the startups and born global companies, entrepreneur, education or something. So actually when I was the official of the METI, at that time I was stationed at India from 2006 to 2010. At that time, you know, if you look at this picture, so you can find the guy in the main seat. You know the guy? So he's your prime minister, the premier of your country. So the Modi ji. Okay, so when I stationed at India at the time, so I work with Modi ji and to develop the Gujarat states. So he was CM of the Gujarat state. Okay, so that's why I'm very happy to here today, and we'd like to cooperate with your university or your student from Indian side. So first of all, why choose Kanazawa University? Okay, so so far more than 600 students study in Kanazawa, but unfortunately so far the COVID-19 happened, so that time, so it's quite difficult to connect each other, the India and Japan. But now the couple of such the overseas student, exchange student, already something to say for the Kanazawa. It's a better place to live for the real Japanese life you can enjoy in Kanazawa. Again, the local Japanese people, of course, the Kanazawa is very, the local area, but it's a very the culture city. I will mention later. So today, why? Well, why not Kanazawa University, the Kanazawa? Kanazawa is very famous for the previous Maharaja city. It's a very big warlord, the ruled in this city, the 400 years back, the samurai era, next to shogun. Okay, so that's why the so variety type of the culture happened, the popping up in the city. And so that's why Kanazawa is a sort of the traditional culture, the cultural city. Kanazawa in Japanese language, literally speaking, the gold spring. So that's so beautiful landscape as well as such a cultures. And the point two is the proximity to the two major cities, Tokyo and Kyoto. So that is a very good advantage. If you go to the Tokyo, if you want to go to the Osaka and Kyoto, it's much easier to go to these areas by bullet train, the Shinkansen. Okay. And finally, the Kanazawa, so we have a so variety type of SMEs, small and medium enterprises, which have only one technology in the world. So that's why if we collaborate with such the industry side, the business academia field, so we can create a so variety type of the research outcome and some good, some outcomes from such collaborations. So each by each, I'd like to explain more detail. The first of all, in terms of the traditional cultures aspects. So I already mentioned Kanazawa is very famous for such the gold craft. So that's why 99% of the entire production of the golden leaf, if you look at the picture, that is a golden leaf, the pure gold leaf. So even though the even though the ice cream, so we can cover by the gold. So and also every year, the very famous Japanese think tank announced that which area is the most suitable to live. Kanazawa or the Hokuriku region, the greater Kanazawa is the best destination and also the happiest destination. So that's why it's very, very easy to survive in Kanazawa, first of all. And also the summer era, Kanagawa as a capital of knowledge, or the so-called the library cities. So variety of the many scholars born in Kanazawa, for example, Dr. Sakae Kimura or some Nakaya Ukichiro, blah, 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 Takamine, Jokichi Takamine. It's so many the famous scholars. They contributed to the Japanese modernizations. So that's why if you come to Kanazawa, we are very, can please you such an atmosphere in Kanazawa. And also the Kanazawa is very good sceneries and the cultures. For example, the Dr. Suzuki Daisetsu is a famous Zen master and scholars, also born in Kanazawa. You know Zen, of course, Zen came from India, okay, the Buddhism, okay? So this city, the Kanazawa, is very also famous. Kenroku Park, it's one of the biggest and also the beautiful, three big, beautiful the garden in Japan. So one is Kenroku-en. So if you come to Kanazawa, you can see, for example, when I stationed at India, at that time I visited the Infosys headquarters. At the time I found the Japanese garden in Infosys in Bangalore. So why? Reason is the Infosys guys say to me, because the Japanese garden so can blink some ideas. Someone want to get some the inspired stuffs, so we can see the Japanese garden. So that's why if you come to Kanazawa, so you can find some variety sceneries, you can get some good, innovation come through your brains. So that is the good, the function of the Kanazawa landscape. UNESCO already, registered as UNESCO created city. We already have. So that's why. So variety type of such a cultures already renowned all over the world. Okay, this is the central station of Kanazawa. So that is a good architectures you can find. So variety type of such architectures in Kanazawa city. And this is Kanazawa Castle. So with so beautiful sakura cherry blossoms that is in the spring side, okay? And this is the autumn side. Yes, now it's time to find such a very good changing color leaves in this. This is a Kenroku-en, okay? And also even in winter, we can find so beautiful landscape in these areas, especially in this Kenroku garden again. That's covered by the the snow. That is. And this is our Kanazawa University, is the one of the biggest campus in Japan, fourth largest campus in Japan. Okay, so that's why we have the plenty of land to study and research inside this campus. Okay. So in terms of the proximity to the two major cities, Tokyo and Osaka, I already mentioned that from Tokyo to Kanazawa, only 2.5 hours by Shinkansen. Okay, that is very, very convenient. So because the center city hat to city hat, only 2.5, okay? And from Kyoto to Kanazawa, it takes only the 2 hours, approximately 2 hours. That is also very convenient if you go to the western side and eastern side in Japan. So this is the center as in Japan, as a Kanazawa, okay? And point 3, so I already mentioned that the so variety type of the companies, which has only one technology in the world located in Kanazawa. For instance, if you look at this, the Shibuya is a very famous bottling company. especially not only the Japanese stuff, but also the Coca-Cola or so variety of the multinational companies. We can this company contribute to the bottling system. This is also the machinery companies. So this company also contribute to the IPS cell. This is a very advanced technologies we can cooperate. And Shibuya company already collaborate with Kanazawa University. And the middle side, Tsudakoma, this machine producing the iPhone. Okay, so that company also very famous, the machinery companies. Okay, that is also collaborated with the Kanazawa University to inventing a couple of some stuffs and innovation and inventions from these collaborations. And finally, the Komatsu. I suppose you know the Komatsu is the name of the company. That company is a very famous construction machinery companies. That is also located in the greater Kanazawa. So variety type of such a companies. So that's why if you come to Kanazawa as a researcher, so you can find such a collaboration with the Japanese companies. So I suppose everybody may know the Toyota, Nissan, the Panasonic, but point is, the SMEs of Japan can support and some, create almost 70% and 80% of the value of the entire Japanese economy. So that's why, no doubt. So if you come to such a field, you can collaborate with SMEs in Hokuriku region, the greater Kanazawa. Okay. So outside, in terms of the undergraduate school, we had the university, so the science and engineering side, the humanities and the social science side, and also the medical, the pharmaceutical, and the health science. Okay, of course, in the graduate school, I will explain more detail in each specific field, the typical research in later, but in the same sense, the humanity and the social involvement studies and the frontier science initiatives. So that is focused on the advanced technologies and the natural science and engineering. So the variety type of the faculties already there. And the medical science, of course, the bio or the such a, the high, more advanced, the some health science, of course. Now, so we are facing the COVID-19, so variety type of the research against the COVID-19. We also have such a field, okay, the law school, the professional development to teacher education. That is the professional schools we also have, okay? And we are moving on to the very specific field of the Kanazawa University research. So please keep in mind, if you come to Kanazawa, I suppose Indian people, Indian student, you are the very smart guys. You are the good for the IT, I suppose, no doubt. However, if you collaborate with just another kind of field, like medical science or the engineering, and even though there's some social science or the humanities, so you can create new barriers, new innovations across with India and the Japanese universities. That's why please come to Kanazawa, okay? That is the point, especially for the Indian student or the South Asian peoples, okay? So first of all, I'd like to explain the nano-precision machineries. This is at the very specific, the very tiny, the microscope of the nanoscope. So you can visualize such a, some system of the materials. So based on this, we can invented the seed for the solar generation. First, the right hand side you can find, and also that you can find some good, the materials for the saving energies like this. And also if you look at this, the below side, so the picture, so that is a very strong diamond. Diamond is very contribute to the nanotechnologies. So if you utilize such a nanotech and the nano-precision machineries, you can create a new frontiers for such a, advanced technologies, okay? The next one is a nano life science institute. Actually, last week, the Minister of Education of Japan, Mr. Hanuda, already visited this institute. Why? Reason is there's so important research that happened going on this institution. So that is to visualize how to affect the influenza, the flu. Okay, to some extent, of course, we can visualize the COVID-19, how to affect to the people, human beings. Okay, that is very important, studies, especially for the such a pandemic situations. Okay, next one is autonomous vehicles. I suppose, of course, the Indian side already a couple of such studies happened. The Dr. Suganuma is a colleague, so he already created a new lab. So, and also the demonstrate such a autonomous vehicle. So if you look at the picture in the downside of the middle, so you can find even though the snow, snow load, so you can utilize such autonomous vehicle systems. And also the professor already invented a new detection system for the signal from the such a the same signatures and getting and controlling the safety drive, even though the autonomous driving. Okay, so that is the system, and we can create such a sensing machines. We already invented, even though the such a snowy weathers or the any type of such situations, we can create maintain the such a driving by the autonomous. Okay, another guys, the Dr. Yoneda from the Faculty of the Medical Science. Okay, he already conducting the studies supported by the Japanese government. Of course, so I suppose in India, so bright researchers and the company already invented such the sensing system or the some checking system. They're getting the big data from the each people for the some nutrition situations or some the sleeping system or some athletic information data. So, but he was in the integrated the whole such as data and then creating the such total comprehensive systems. Okay. Even though when it comes to the some eating something, so we can correcting the data, what kind of eat, so what kind of food, so in the lunchtime, the breakfast, and dinner time. Okay, and also what kind of some training that happens in for the daytime, right? So, and also, if you look at the picture in the right-hand side, so you can find this is a wear glass. It's a so-called neo plug system. In the greater Kanazawa, there is a city that's Sabaya. It's also very famous industrial city, the producing the grass, okay, grass. So that company, they already invented a new system of the wearable glass, okay? So every time the Google or the Apple already invented such some wearables, but this is already the installing the such an application or some the sensing machine, but this company or the adjustable type of some system. If you want to get some the video shooting machines, so we can put in the new device, put on the glass, or the if you go to the surgery, so we can make conducting the surgery at the time, we can detecting the very specific some diseases, we can put the another very specific device through this the wearable glass like this. So such a system already conducting. So that is a variety type of such a collaboration, the business and academia and the VisGov and academia collaborations based on this platform. Okay, actually in Japan so far, the Prime Minister Suga already mentioned that, and maybe within a half year, so we created a new digital ministry. Okay, so in this ministry, so we can create such a collaboration and a more comprehensive type of the system for the society because of this time the pandemic. So the turmoil is the social turmoil is happens. So that's why so we can create such integrated system in Japan. So that's I suppose a good time, good chance. Okay, so even though you are very smart for the IT or the some science and mathematics, so if you collaborate with the medical science, that is the one field. In future, you can create, build up your career and the research. All some, even though there's such, there's some new, the businessman in this. And not only the such a social science, not only the such a, the engineering, the science side and the medical science side, but also the humanities and also the social science we can focus on. That is the Satoyama Satoumi. Satoyama means such a, artificial collaboration or the harmonization between the nature and human beings. Okay, if you look at the such environment protections, everybody may say, okay, the nature is important. We should, protect the nature. So please don't touch upon such a the nature from the human beings. No, no, no. So we can cohabitat, the living each other, nature and human beings. How to, harmonize to each other, human beings and the natures. So that's why if you look at the picture of the center, you can find that the rice field. But this is also, maintain the water. So that's why it seems like a dam for the water, keeping the water. So it's very, very good for the protecting the disaster like this. So that's why after getting the hands from the human beings, how to, modify the such a nature itself. That is the concept of the Satoyama Satomi. Okay, so this is also registered in the UN, the agriculture heritage. Okay, so that is also very important, exercise. Okay, based on this, now, so the used car and the scrap car, we can bring one company and collaborate with the Kanazawa University and creating and, detoxing the every stuffs from the used car and just the pure iron. If we put on the ocean side, we can getting the new fish house and also the good seaweed or some green field. It happens based on this stuffs. So for example, so far is the greenhouse effect is so serious, and also the weather condition, the climate change it happens. So now everybody know, I suppose, the total emission of the CO2 is 33 billions. And one side is the land side, they observe 7.8 billions. But ocean side, okay, now the 16 billions. But everybody knows land is 30% of the entire Gaia, and the ocean side is 70%. Why? So we can, create a new mechanism to observe the CO2s, okay? CO2 or the greenhouse gas, okay? So that's why, so we can create such a system because iron is a contribute to the such observing the CO2 and also the support the cultivation for the seaweed or the green stuffs in the ocean side. Okay, that is a good good collaborations between the science side, the natural science side, and engineering and social science and the humanities. Okay, that is the typical examples we already conducting. So like this, so variety type of such a research is you can, if you come to Kanazawa University, you can enjoy such a research and some enjoying your life in Kanazawa. Okay, so now we establish a new faculty of future innovation. We are focused only in the innovation or the only entrepreneurs. Okay, entrepreneur means how to create a new values in the changing world. Okay, so that's why we can setting up such a new faculties. Based on this, we can support how to nurturing the skills of the innovation or the innovators. Okay, now COVID-19 happens and this year pandemic. Okay, crisis. If you learn the Chinese characters, key is a crisis, means crisis. This is the center side. You can find this is the Chinese characters. The latter half of the Chinese character is a danger. However, the former side is a danger, but the latter side is opportunities. Okay, so that's why crisis means danger and opportunity. They're both sides simultaneously. So that's why we focus on the opportunities. So that's why now this faculty, the new faculties already established beyond the Corona Forum. This is on the virtual side and on the website. Okay, we already collecting some proposals from the student, high school student and college student. Now we have more than 200 such, there's some proposals come from all over the world, including India side. Okay, we get such ideas, and now I already mentioned so variety of researchers in Kanazawa University, and also in Kanazawa, so variety type of SMEs and companies only have only one technologies company. So that's why they can suggest or elaborate each proposals or the brush up the such a students' ideas, and then to materialize and visualize and to realize the each project. That is the new concept. So I already mentioned that India side, for instance, from India, WHO, but WHO, but not health, but high school, World High School Organization. So why don't you create such a organization and to discuss more details, such a what kind of problems happens in the school life and how to solve these problems. So maybe the last August we already have a big conference, and Prime Minister Abe is very interested in this the organization, the conference, international conference. So that's why we already report to the Ministry of the Foreign Affairs in Japan, and to elaborate such a international conference bodies at the platform. So this is one example. So variety type of such the ideas only from you boys, the high school student. So that's why if you're interested in, please visit this portal site, and to the end of this next month, okay, the November 23rd or something, this is due date. If you have idea, please post your proposal on this as a video, only 5 minutes if enough, okay? So that's a please visit and propose to this Beyond Call forum, okay? Thank you so much for your kind attention. And if you have any questions, please send email to my site. And also, I suppose you have a couple some questions through this webinar.
Thank you, Professor Matsushima, for your nice presentation.
Okay, thanks.
Now I would like to start the Q&A session.
Okay.
There are 4 questions, basically. I will just read out for you so that you can quickly answer them, because we have some time shortage. You can quickly answer. Sure. And we will also give the link further. First question is, does Kanazawa University have engineering management and project management courses for postgraduate engineering students?
Yes. Actually, so far we don't have the exact such courses, but the related course we already have. So that's why if you're interested in such an engineering management, or there's some managed courses, project management. So please contact first of all, and I introduce the couple some the research and the scholars or the professor to your side. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Second question is also similar, like management course in the industry. Third question was scholarship opportunities in the Kanazawa University, which we explained quite well in your presentation. If you would like to give a brief again.
Sure. Yes. Actually, so far we have a couple of such a scholarship. The producing, providing by the Canada University, and also we getting some scholarship from the outside of the university. So that's why, again, so if you're interested in the Canada University, I'd like to introduce a couple such a scholarship to your side. Okay.
One more question is there. Is there any certificate of language requirement like IELTS, TOEFL, GLPT for applying to the universities?
Okay, so actually, so far we don't have any such a very specific the certification for the language of the, especially for the English, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we don't have, but if you want to, taking the entrance examination, so if we can explain more detail. Okay,
and one question is, science-based undergraduate programs are there?
Of course, as a variety of the
undergraduate programs. Basically related to engineering, they are asking, related to engineering. Okay.
Yes. Especially we provided some frontier science. It's a very advanced, high advanced, science we can provide. Okay, nano or some bio, something. Yes.
There is an interesting question regarding startups and entrepreneurship. Started like your sobriety tap out researches. Are there any startups or which any example you can quote?
Sure. So we can provide such a course for the startups, And
Actually, I think it's a question regarding are there any startups after pursuing these kind of courses
ah,
in
yes,
Japan?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I think Mr. Rajiv, you can further contact Professor Matsushima.
Sure.
I will share the link. You can get the details further from him.
Sure.
Okay. One quick question. Uh, is there any opportunity for psychology student for post-graduation?
Psychology. Yes. Yes, we have some faculty of the psychologists. Okay, psych division.
Okay.
So that's why I asked to some professors from the faculties, and if you have the room, so we can introduce to your site. Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
One last question, like computer engineering diploma student should join for undergraduation or graduation program?
Of course, yes. We have so variety type of some programs. Okay, especially there's some collaboration with the computer science. Okay, computer engineering. Yes.
One last question I will also take. Earth Sciences master's courses in Kanazawa University are there? Earth Sciences.
Not just a specific course, but some professor, there's some profession in the earth science. Okay, some earthquake, research or something. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Professor Matsushima, for sharing such a nice piece of information.
Thank you so
I
much.
will just share the my agenda again. Where are we currently?
Sure.
So we have finished the Kanazawa University presentation, all the attendees. I would like to just inform again. Now we are starting the presentation by the Ritsumeikan University by Ms. Priyanka, Ms. Hiroko. Our Ms. Priyanka is basically a graduate from Delhi University. She is having a vast experience of more than 15 years in this education field. And she has a good command over Japanese language, English language, Hindi language, and Punjabi language. So I request students they can freely converse in any of those languages, but I would prefer they should keep their questions to English. And she is joined with Ms. Hiroko Sasaki. She is admission counselor of Ritsumeikan University. And I request students to take the best advantage of this presentation, and they will be happy to answer your queries further in the Q&A session. Ms. Priyanka, please, I will just stop the share and you can start your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, students, parents, and thank you very much everyone for joining, and thank you for your patience for listening to all of us. So,
Ms. Priyanka, can you share your slides? It's not visible.
Yes, I'll be just sharing my slides. So I will start with the presentation and then, yeah. So, okay.
Yeah, it's full screen now. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So this big R in Japan is very popular by the name of Ritsumeikan University. And where are we located? So we are located in Kyoto, and it's about 2 hours, 30 minutes from Tokyo. So you can take a Shinkansen and you're also connected by plane. You can take any of the mode. You can even take a bus that will take more time. And we have 4 campuses in 3 cities: Shiga, Kyoto, Osaka. All of them are interconnected by bus and by train. Kyoto. So Kyoto is a very historical, nostalgic, and a student-friendly city. So some of the pictures that display Kyoto as a city. Shiga, where we have our engineering campus, it's very rich in nature, industrial, and relaxed. So you can see our campus here during the cherry blossom time. Osaka. Osaka as a city is very vibrant, welcoming, and commercial hub. So talking about Kyoto. So Kyoto as a city has 10% of student population. So it's very, very popular for students and also very, very popular for tourists. So anybody visiting Japan, of course, visit Tokyo and Kyoto area as well, because of so many World Heritage sites that are there. So it's very comfortable for any new student coming to Kyoto and nearby Kyoto, Osaka to settle down. Yes. So talking about the world's safest student city, we've been ranked #1, Kyoto, Osaka, Kobe. Talking about Ritsumeikan, we were founded in 1900. It's about 120, more than 120 years old. We are part of top global university Japan, and we have 16 undergraduate colleges, 20 graduate school, and 36,000 plus students, and 1 lakh applicants. So we all know that the Top Global University project has been, so it's been selected by, we were selected by Japanese government to help international students come to Japan. So with this initiative, Global 30 project, our office got started in 2010. So I'm working from India, from Delhi area, and so I'm available even after the presentation. You want to contact me. I've been working with Ritsumeikan from 2010. Talking about the research, we have been research implemented from private sector industry. We've been ranked #1. Research funding, we have received 1.3 billion yen. We've been ranked #1 in Western Japan for the number of foreign faculty. 139 foreign faculties are there. We have 2,450 foreign students, international students from 71 countries and region. So international partner institution is 461 universities and institution and 68 countries and region. The student also has an opportunity to do study abroad. Opportunities are available. So student can do 1 semester to a short duration study abroad opportunity with no extra cost. Yes. During the COVID situation, the university and the government has provided funding to the students, and especially the students whose family income has been affected. There has been support for online learning, campus life, job hunting. There has been complete support. We have 430 clubs and circles that the student of any of them. The part-time job, every student who comes to Japan gets a 28 hours per week work permit. So once the students reaches the airport, it's very easy to apply for the work permit, and student can work on campus and off campus. All jobs are available. On campus, we generally have jobs available in the library, in our school events, and off campus we have English teacher jobs, tour guide, and Uber Eats partners as well. Student support, there is a complete student support that is available for all students for career planning, housing, academic, student abroad support, visa, and on-campus medical support is completely available. Accommodation, all the campuses, we have accommodation available on and off campus. When I talk about the off-campus accommodation, the dormitory is located about 5 to 15 minutes on a walking distance. So you can take a bicycle, you can walk. It is a very comfortable walk. And yes. So the student peer support, we have 3,280 student support that is available. And especially when the student is coming from the country to settle down in their campus, in the university, and for everything, the student support is fully available. So career planning support office we have, and any child can go and take support from the career planning support office. And also there are career opportunities that are available. So whether you want to work in Japan or after your undergraduate, whether you want to do your masters in Japan or anywhere in the world. So both support is available for the students. So what are the key features while you're coming to Ritsumeikan? One of the key feature would be the scholarship. So we have 100% tuition reduction waiver to 50% to and 20% tuition reduction waiver that is available. Accommodation, I've already mentioned, on and off campus, and everything is online. So when you talk about the online interview, while you're filling up the form, everything is absolutely online and it's very simple. I'll be coming to that. You don't need Japanese while you're applying for admission. And yes, so it's completely in English, but we suggest every child to start learning Japanese. Japanese is part of the course curriculum in each and every program that we have. So every child definitely pick up Japanese language, and yes, it is very, very beneficial while you're working, while you want to do your part-time job, or future you want to work in Japan. And there are study abroad opportunities that are available. So talking about our program, so we have collaborative degrees and we have single degrees. So when I talk about the collaborative degree, we have a we have GLA. That's a collaborative degree with Australian National University where you get 2 degrees. So we have April and September intake both, and a yearly intake of 100 students. And I'll be talking about this program further. And then we have a joint degree with American University, where you get a joint degree of Bachelor of Arts in Global International Relation with a yearly intake of 25 and enrollment April. And then we have single degrees, that is Bachelor of Arts in International Relation, Bachelor of Arts in Policy Science, and Bachelors of Engineering. So we have 140 and a 50 yearly intake that is available, and they all are located in the different campus. So talking about the collaborative degree with the Australian National University, where you get 2 degrees, and yeah. So the 2 degree awarded are Bachelor of Global Liberal Arts and Bachelor of Asia Pacific Affairs. So it's a 4-year full-time program, 3 years in Ritsumeikan and 1 year in ANU. And also while you're in Ritsumeikan, you will be taught by Australian professor. And some of the keywords that you can go through in this program would be social change, evaluation of market economy, design, knowledge, innovation, contemporary Japan, politics, government, and many other. Yeah. So talking about so yes, this I've already mentioned. Talking about ANU, it's #1 in Australia, 29 in the world, and 8 in the world for politics and international studies. Yeah. So when I talk about our joint degree with American University, where you get a joint degree, it's 4 years, 2 years in Ritsumeikan and 2 years in American University. And some of the key words you can see: US and Japan relation, global and comparative governance, peace, global security, conflict and resolution, and many other. So this is about American University. It's founded in 1893, ranked #1 in the IR field among the US universities, and some of the very, very popular faces from American University. Yeah, so the single degree that we have, that the child will be purely studying in Japan, one of the very, it's global study major, undergraduate. It's a 4-year program, and it includes its Bachelor of International Relation. And we are one of the Japan leading IR, we have Japan leading IR faculty. We're the only member in Japan to have a full recognition from APSIA. It's an Association of Professional School of International Affairs, and the other members that have full accreditation from APSIA are American University, Columbia, and other Ivy League like Harvard, Yale, etc. And talking about our second single degree, that would be BA in Policy Science. So it has a September intake in our Osaka Ibaraki campus, and some of the keywords you can go through would be urban planning, community safety, economics, environmental policies, global public policies, and many others. So the last program, the single degree we have, it's Information System Science and Engineering program at undergraduate level. It's a Bachelor's of Engineering, and it has a 15 take with 4 years full-time program at Shiga campus. So some of the keywords that you can go through in this engineering program would be intelligence, data science, artificial intelligence, robot technology, human interface, and many other is part of the program. So while I talk about a master's and PhD program, so we have international relation, economics, science and engineering, information science and engineering. We have life sciences, policy science, and global liberal arts is also available. So how to apply? So I'm talking about the undergraduate level, undergraduate programs only. For the postgraduate program, you can write an email to us and we can connect you with the professor and the particular department representative from Japan. While I talk about the undergraduate program, it's very, very simple. You just have to download our application handbook. All the links we will be putting in the chat column, and you just have to activate your Ritsume account, pay your application fee. The application fees is about 5,000 yen. That's about 3,800 to 900 rupees, and upload and send all the documents. And the documents requirement would be a passport copy, English test scores. If you're going for a joint degree, you can submit any of the English test score. I'll be showing you in one of the slides. If you're going for a single degree, then you just have to give a letter from the school that you've studied in English, recommendation letter from the school. That's the format is available in the application form. Then we have academic transcript we'll be needing for all the grades of high school or senior secondary education. There would be essays that are already mentioned in the application form. And the last is certificate of high school graduation. So the evaluation of each and every child will be very, very holistic based on your essays from your documents, your 10th, 11th, and 12th mark sheet that you will be submitting, and your interview. As some of the program, we also do conduct interview. So it's very, very holistic. So this is for our program. So for some, there is an interview requirement. For some, we don't have interview, especially with our ISSC program, we don't have interview. It will be assessed completely on the documents. So to tell you, once you get the offer letter, it would be, you'll get to know about the scholarship along with your offer letter. And there is no condition apart from clearing your class 12th. So there is no condition on the amount of the percentage you need. There is no condition relating to that. Just that you have to clear your class 12th or your IB diploma if you're in IB. Talking about IELTS or TOEFL or Duolingo, that is available for a collaborative degree. You have to submit one of them. And for single degree, if you have studied in English throughout, you can get a waiver by submitting a letter from your school. So this is about, so we'll be giving you the link for checking all the application period. Especially our September intake is starting for almost all the programs. Will be starting in December for September intake, and you will get to know the result by April 1st. So it is much before your board exam or the IB exam result. So this is for a global liberal arts. This is for a joint degree program. That's American University. And this is for a single degree international relation in Japan. So to talk about also one more point about this program, one is of course fully accredited by APSIA. Also, we have many professors who have worked in many of the very, very important organizations like WHO, United Nations. They are teaching in our international relation program. So we have policy science, we have September intake. Again, it will start in December. And we have science and engineering program ISSC that we will start from February. So talking about the fee structure, I will be mentioning in lakhs or in Japanese yen. It is very, very affordable. One second. So when I talk about the fee structure, it is very, very affordable, and you can actually compare it with any private university in your country. So when I talk about the fee structure, it comes to be about about 11 lakhs when I talk about the single degree, to coming up to about 15 lakhs for a GLA program per year. But you get 100% tuition waiver, or a 50% or a 20%, depending upon your application and the interview. So you can avail that. And also we have many post-enrollment scholarships as well, that is available for all students. So 150/20, and the post-enrollment scholarship is also available, especially available for the living expense. And also you can work part-time. So when you calculate, it is very, very affordable to study in Japan. So I am, my email ID is mentioned here. I'll be very, very happy. So please, you can write to us. And also we have a Facebook page. You can like the Facebook page. And this is the email ID from Japan, and our website link is given. And we will also be sending all the links in the chat column. And we also do webinar Wednesday from Japan. So once you like a Facebook page, you will be getting regular information relating to that. Thank you very much. Before I close, I'll be showing a small video. And also we are very much available for any questions. Please write in the question answer session, question answer column, and we'll be happy to answer that. Yeah.
Take my hand and I'll be your guide. I'll take you places that you'd never find. I know something about a state of mind. I've got the dreamer in me. Roses bloom and the sun will shine. Leave your troubles in the world behind. Stars shine brighter when you free your mind. I've got the dreamer in me. And when we reach the destination, you will see the world is waiting for the ones who hold the key. Just look inside and unlock the possibility. The dreamer lives in you and me. So take a breath and make the moment last. You'll never know if you never ask. All you need to be within your grasp. I've got the dreamer in me. And when we reach the destination, you will see the world is waiting for the ones who hold the key. Just look inside and unlock the possibility. The dreamer lives in me. You and me. You and me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Priyanka, Ms. Hiroko, for sharing such a nice information with the students. I would like to share one interesting fact regarding the Sumaikan University. Regarding university completed 100 years already last year, and they created a Guinness World Record by creating a largest book sentence with the help of students only. And and which is just a drive to create more knowledge and to drive students to learn more. Yeah, thank you. So we will now start the Q&A session. So I find Ms. Hiroko has been very actively giving information to the students in the chat box. So I don't find any questions here. But there is one question, if you would like to ask, would like to answer. There's a question from Mr. Mahesh. Uh, he would like to know the job opportunities to MBA graduates in Japan.
Yeah, the generally, yes, the MBA student graduates, yeah, highly demand, yeah, in the sector of the any field in Japan as well, and then also in the world, yeah. And then yes, unfortunately, we don't have MBA in English track in the English medium program, but you may have more information from our sister university, APU. Yes, especially the graduate from APU.
Okay, so I don't find any further question. There was one question regarding management course in undergraduate program, but I think Ms. Hiroko has already answered that. If you would like to explain that.
Yes, unfortunately, we don't have specific the management. I mean, the Bachelor of the Business Management, the college. Yeah, but since some student are interested in the business field and also the Asia Pacific affairs, some students are studying at our Global Liberal Arts the college. That is a collaborative degree with the Australian National University, because one of the pillar is regarding to the innovation studies. So the professors who used to work the company, and then they're like a knowledge creation, and then those field the student can study at the College of Global Liberal Arts. But be careful, that is not the management course. So that's why that it's not specifically if the student wish to study more like a finance or management or practical, not only theory and practical issues. Yeah, it's not the course, but also we receive so many students. Those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Hiroko. There is one small question in the chat box. It's not there in the Q&A box. So I would like to just read it for you. Is there any opportunity for food science students in Japan?
Yes,
Nutrition, I think they might be asking. Mr. Karthik has asked regarding some food science opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah, our school of the College of the Science and then the Life Sciences. Yes, actually they're related to food science, but it's a Japanese medium, the programs. But for the graduate school, yes, the Graduate School of Life Sciences, yes, we have English programs as well. And then food management and gastronomy. Yeah, if the student are interested in the gastronomy and then they wish to also study in Japanese, we have that college, but unfortunately we don't have the English medium programs in that field.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Sasaki. I think that answers the question well. And if there is any further query, Mr. Karthik, you can further email them. I have given their emails in the chat box. There is a last question from Mr. Hardik regarding, are there any economic courses in this university at undergraduate level? Economics courses.
Yeah, thank you very much for the question. Yes, unfortunately, we don't have the, among the English medium programs, we don't have the economic course in terms of the English medium program, but we have Japanese medium programs. Yes, we have. But actually the international relations, College of International Relations, also the policy science, College of Policy Science, also the student studying the macroeconomics and macroeconomics. And then also for international relations, more policy studies, and then the policy science, and then the policy studies majors is more like policy making. So that is a mixture, interdisciplinary. So if you really wish to study economic only, unfortunately, we don't have. Yeah.
One last question I would like to take. I think there's a question from Mr. Prateek regarding, are there any filmmaking courses in the university? I think he's asking about multimedia, something related courses.
Yeah, again, yes. Thank you very much for the question. Yes, again, the programs, we have the Japanese medium Yeah, the programs, yes, filmmaking, and then also media. Yeah, there are those things. Yeah, but unfortunately, currently we don't have. Yes, but yeah, if something happens, we'll inform you. Yeah, update.
Yeah, but I think Mr. Pratik has been interacting with us in Japanese quite a bit. I think if he is quite conversant in Japanese, you can go for these courses very well, Mr. Pratik. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. You can. Yeah,
And
also yeah.
there's a question regarding presentation of Risumaikan. Yes, we will upload all the presentation in the University of Tokyo India office website. We will keep you updated on that. And so one last question we can take, like, is the getting a student visa difficult? I don't think so.
So yeah, it's when I talk about the student visa, it's not at all difficult. In fact, many of the students they feel it is so simple. Once you get the COE from your university, you apply for your visa. Within 3 working days, you will be able to get the visa. So you don't
Yes.
have to worry about the visa.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Priyanka, Ms. Saski, for your time and for sharing such a nice piece of information with the students and even with the parents. I think they have joined for taking an informed and positive decision regarding the career of their child and regarding their own career for the students here. And I would like to just share the screen. Where are we currently? So we are now reached the final stage of the presentation. Now we will have a very short presentation from Ms. Megumi Paul regarding guiding the students regarding the way of life, study in Japan further, and giving a brief about the focal ed. Ms. Megumi-san,
Thank you, Dheeraj-san.
thank you.
I will spend 5 minutes with you all to explain about focal ed. I will share my screen. Focal Ed is an international educational consulting company headquartered in Tokyo, Japan. Yoshino-san has 20 years of experience in Indo-Japan collaboration projects. Kyoko-san is a member of Study Abroad Committee of Japanese government. She's based in Gurgaon. Focal Ed offers admission consulting services for university selection and application support. Focal Ed also offers onboarding consulting services for onboarding support in Japan for the first 1 month. I will explain about the service in the next few slides. These are the universities in Japan that offer English courses: University of Tokyo, Kyoto University, Ritsumeikan University, Kanazawa University, University of Tsukuba, Tokyo Institute of Technology, and others. Japanese universities have unique courses. This is the list of 90 English courses offered by 40 Japanese universities. You have digital business and innovation, mechanical and aerospace engineering, scientists and engineers degree, civil and environmental engineering. In Japan, computer science and computer engineering is the most popular and high demand for employment. There is fundamental and applied physics, science and engineering, global business program, Bachelor of Law, global communication, global political economy. You have information system science and engineering, so many interesting courses: global business, international management, biological engineering. This is the list of postgraduate courses. We have additional postgraduate courses also. I will share the name of universities and courses as per students' interest. This is about focal ed admission consulting services. These are the 4 important steps which are necessary for the student to submit the application successfully. Always, these are the 4 questions raised by students when they think about university admission process. Which university to choose? What is the tuition fee? When to start the application process? And how to apply? First one will be which course and which university to choose. Focal Ed will guide you in each step of the process. Based on your career aspirations, I will share the information regarding courses offered, university names, acceptance rate, and eligibility requirements. Next step will be understanding the tuition fee structure and hostel facilities, which Focal will share. Japan has the best health insurance coverage in the world. The third step will be selecting the college start date. Depending on the university, each course requirements are different, and Focal will guide students to collect the necessary application documents. Last one is the application submission. You have to complete online application form for each university and submit few documents by postal mail. You have completed all the necessary work and wait for university acceptance. Why you have to choose Focal Ed? To summarize, we understand the student's interest, select the courses, colleges, navigate the unique application process for each university. We have collaboration with Japanese universities. We understand each course requirements, student intake, fees, scholarship, and acceptance rate. We have experienced consultants with 20 years of experience in university education field. We recommend few universities for the student to select and apply. After you receive the acceptance letter from the university, you join the prestigious Japanese university that fit your career aspiration. Focal Ed offers onboarding consulting services also. After you get the acceptance letter from the university, you can enroll in Focal Ed onboarding consulting services. Focal Ed will share the visa application procedures. You have to submit the visa documents. Student visa will be issued by the Consulate General of Japan. We conduct pre-departure student parent session. We receive the student from Japan airport. We arrange a session to guide students for a smooth transition to university life in Japan upon arrival. We support students for 1 month to settle down in Japan, introduce malls, Indian restaurants, English-speaking clinics, food options, etc. Thank you. If you have any queries, please email or WhatsApp me. Kindly take note of my email address, megumipaul@focaled.com. WhatsApp +818034836555. Thank you once again. I pass on to Mr. Dheeraj Sang.
Thank you, Megumi-san. I would like to just request you to kindly guide the students. There was one question we did not answer regarding selection of supervisor. If you can kindly answer that in a few 1 minute.
Sure. Supervisor of?
There
What?
was a question regarding selection, how to approach the supervisor for the university selection. Professors, how to interact with them. If you
All
can
right.
just give a brief.
Yeah, after we come to know your interest in your career path, your university, or we come to decide which university it's best fit for you. And then we get to know the collect the application documents from the university. And then if you want to interact with the professor, we can arrange for that. Definitely.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Megumi. And I would like to share that you can also directly send email to the professor. They might be busy. They might not reply immediately to your emails, but you can surely contact them again, or you can just contact the graduate student office in the university. You can contact them also. You will surely get a reply. Thank you. And most importantly, I would like to request you to have a proper research theme and research project in your mind, which will be attracting the professor. So please keep it in mind. So it was a great opportunity interacting with young minds, and I think most of their queries have been questioned and they have been answered by the panelists. And basically, it was a great interactive session for the students and the parents for taking an informed and wise decision because Japan offers not only quality education but also very good earning opportunities in terms of part-time opportunities for students, and it is very safe country, which actually its safety and employment opportunities are the best at par in the world. So I would like to request the students again, if they have any further query, I will just share a quick link of University of Tokyo India office and Ms. Megumi in the chat box. You can go through that. And yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone. It was a nice session interacting with you all. Thank you, everyone. I shared the link in the chat box. You can all see. So we have just finished exactly on time. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone.